Browns have something new to face as they enter this season. High expectations. Cleveland is coming off a 7-win season, but they'll have a second year of Baker Mayfield and the huge addition of Odell Beckham Jr. to look forward to. Freddie Kitchens talked about the team's expectations yesterday. Take a listen.
I want everybody to understand this. Our goal here with the Cleveland Browns, as long as I'm here, will always be to win the Super Bowl. All right? Now, that's the last time I'm going to say that. Just know and make it a given that that's what I believe to my core, is to win the Super Bowl. Now, you don't do that by talking about it, and you don't do that by outside expectations. You do that by putting the expectations on how you prepare on a day-in and day-out basis. If you're not going to jump out of the airplane, don't put the parachute on. And I want people that have put the parachute on.
Put the parachute on. All right, that's good to know. We said expectations there a lot as well. We are joined by Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth. Mark,
yes.
Do you like those comments from Freddie? What you got?
Well, you know, when you read it, it doesn't give you a lot of context. When he says it, you understand what he's talking about. Right. Our expectation here, we want to win Super Bowls. And Freddie Kitchens, I like Freddie Kitchens. He's a great one. I really enjoyed, like, my getting to meet him and talking to the Cleveland Browns and watching them practice and then calling one of their games. I really think that they are one of the most talented teams in football. I don't think there's any question. We both know this, or we all know this, like, character drives talent towards greatness. It's the reverse of that equation is never true. It's never the talent that drives character. You have got the talent's not enough to win. Like, you got to have guys that are willing to sacrifice for one another. I will remind you this. The last time they won the division, it wasn't the AFC North. It was the AFC Central in 1989. Teams that have won the AFC Central and the AFC North before or since Cleveland, the Houston Oilers won it. Is that right? The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're no longer in the division. The Tennessee Titans, no longer in the division, have won since the Cleveland Browns won in '89. So, like, the goal, Super Bowl, like, that's out there a little bit, right? I mean, let's get over 500. Maybe let's win our division first. They've got a ton of talent, though. I will tell you that. Ton of talent, but talent's not enough to win in this league. You got to have guys that are willing to sacrifice for one another, and we'll see if they have that.
For me, I think he's trying to instill confidence. He's trying to let the guys know what the expectations are. I expect you to come in practice. I expect you to meet well. I expect you to practice hard. And I expect us to get better on a week-in and week-out basis. Skip, this is not new to you, Fred, new to you, to the Cleveland Browns, Freddie. Everybody has those exact same expectations. It's the same for the Rams, for the Chargers, obviously for the Patriots. Everybody has those expectations. But what are you willing to do? I can tell you this. Me and this man played together from 95 to 99. And not one time did Mike Shanahan ever mention Super Bowl until we was actually preparing for the Super Bowl. I played 2 years in Baltimore. Not one time did Brian Billick mention the Super Bowl until we got to at least we got to the playoffs. Win your division, get a home game, and they're going to go from there. I get it. See, I've been on the parachute. You know, I done jumped out of a plane, Skip Baylor. Like it ain't nothing. As a matter of fact, jumped out of a plane into the stadium at Mile High. That's what I did.
I was there.
That's what I did.
I saw it.
What?
What a grandstander you are.
That's crazy to me.
No, I got to make an entrance. I just can't come and walk out there on the field. Everybody can do that.
What was this for? For a football game or for...
Actually, I went to the ring. I was going into the ring of honor.
Okay.
Really?
Honorary captain. I watched it. Rolled in with the Air Force guy, jumped in. Yeah.
I would have been more impressed if you had jumped without a parachute.
Yeah.
that.
Maybe if it had been a pool down there, maybe a 100-foot pool, I might have been doing.
Maybe.
I will say real quick, with this, there's so many expectations with this team. It is much easier, just human nature, to deal with failure than it is to deal with success. And they feel like a team that had some success last year. They went 7-9. They finished the season pretty strong. People pretty excited about this football team. This feels like an abject disaster waiting to happen to me. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
So, to your first point, I love listening to Freddie Kitchens. He's become my favorite interview in all the NFL. I will love watching these Browns. I would love playing for Freddie Kitchens. I think he'd be a lot of fun to play for until it went south. And then I'm not sure how he would react because Freddie Kitchens is the most astounding phenomenon I can ever remember in all my years covering this league in path to head coach to hot team. Because I'm going to remind everybody, until mid-year last year, when Hugh Jackson, Todd Haley got fired, Freddie Kitchens had never even been a coordinator in this league, not even an offensive coordinator one time. He'd been in the league for 13 years. He spent 11 with the Arizona Cardinals and toiled in obscurity. He was the quarterback coach for a while. Last year, he got maybe almost demoted to running back coach. I don't know, but he was never the coordinator.
Right.
And obviously, he has never been a head coach in his life. And he is simply the most unknown Alabama quarterback in the history of Crimson Tide football. Am I right? Because I can't remember him. He played for Gene Stallings and Mike Dubose, and he started for 3 years. And when he finished, he had the 5th most completions in the history of the school. It was like pretty good, you know? And he played in 3 bowl games, all minor bowl games. But still, do you remember him?
I do
Because
not.
I do not remember Freddie Kitchens playing quarterback at Alabama. And now he doesn't really look like he used to be a quarterback. And so you're like, wow, it's jarring. And so obviously he's never, ever been close to being a head coach. And now he's the head coach of the hottest team in the league. And now he is proclaiming Super Bowl. He's at least talking to where you're leaping to the conclusion. Wait a second, are you talking about winning the Super Bowl? And it's telling to me that you're saying Mike Shannon never even said the term Super Bowl, that Brian Billick never even mentioned Super Bowl, and Freddie Kitchens is just openly saying, hey, I want this on the record right now. I'm not going to say it again, but my goal, as long as I'm the head coach, I want to win the Super Bowl. He didn't say we're going to, but he said he wants to win the Super Bowl. That's pretty outrageous expectations to put on a team that already has too many expectations.
But here's the thing. He didn't have to say it. We knew what our expectations were. Well,
sure.
Yeah. You know, when I was in Baltimore, Skip, now, we had a more veteran team. See, when the coach says something, we felt obligated to go back Brian Billick up. When he called out Tennessee, he called out Jacksonville or whomever, it was our obligation. He says, I don't care what you say. Just remember now, what you say during the week. Now, we're going to have to back that up on Sunday. I'm like, we can say, I mean, because, you know, I came from a place where Mark didn't want me to talk to the D lineman. He like, telling on me over there.
Because he wants to pick a fight with the guy I got to play against. That's what I want.
Well, I can't have it because the guy that he played against want to pick a fight with me.
Okay.
I got
everybody wanted to pick a fight with you, not just the guy I was playing against.
I was minding my own business. You know me. Didn't say a word. I'm going out there to catch a pass. That's all I want to do. Catch a few passes, go back to the sideline, drink my Gatorade. That's what I want to do. They bother me.
That's all you were drinking was Gatorade?
That's it. On the sideline back then. I was in my body back then. You know, Skip, I was doing push-ups on the sideline and everything.
I believe that Freddie Kitchens, I don't know, 5, 10 years from now, will look back at his first year as the head coach of the Browns and say, you know what?
What was I thinking?
I should have tempered the expectations a little bit. I should have low-keyed it coming out of the blocks, because Baker's going to talk and Odell's going to talk Super Bowls. It's how they're built. It's how they're made. It's up to me to kind of manage the expectations and keep it to a low roar, because I'm the head coach. I can't escalate the expectations, right?
Right.
Because when he utters those 2 words, Super Bowl, you know what Browns Nation's going to do?
Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It don't work like that. Just because he said it, that doesn't mean you're going.
Okay. But I agree with you.
Like you said, let's win the division, get ourselves a home. That's what we talked about. We need to win this division, get a home game in the playoffs.
Those quotes read worse than they heard.
Yeah, absolutely. I read the quotes. I was like, I rolled my eyes like, you got to be kidding me, right?
But his
then you hear it.
I know, it's real.
I'm a Freddie Kitchens fan, and I am a fan of the talent and the work ethic and the things that I saw when I was there and the way they had played. Like, I'm a fan of the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield was a guy that I questioned. Baker Mayfield, he is a great young player. They've got roster-wise, on paper, they have one of the most talented teams in football. But I like to say this. If the games were played on paper, I'd have spent a lot less time laying on an operating table, right? They're not played on paper.
No. No. They will be watched this season.
You didn't get a paper cut from that guy over there, right?
No.
He injured me.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry, went the other way. That's right.
Oh, wow.
Get out of my way.
Okay.
You gotta get out of my way. I'll put some Rydell on your cheek.
Good to know.
No, that cast on his wrist. And he was pull. Alex said, "Nah, you can't let you pull. You can't injure our players."
Hey, once I started to pull, there was no stopping until I hit something. Okay, I don't have brakes. Like a runaway truck.
Did you hold it against him through the offseason?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad to see
That
we're
was
okay here.
that was in '95, and then next year I'll come back. You know,
Yeah.
do what we did, and then we 2 back-to-back.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe because it ended that way. That always helps. Mark, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. As always, is Big Ben done as an elite